Morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry it took a few minutes. Today, you're not going to see me actually, because you can see the Cité du Vin is behind me, and for some reason, my camera's not working, but that's okay. I We've got a couple of people in the waiting room, so we'll let them in, and then we will start. Let's see. All right. Hey, Karen, admit, and terrific. I'm really thrilled to we are today back in the region of Nouvelle Aquitaine, and today is our, believe it or not, and I think that some of you have seen all of our webinars, but this is our 89th webinar, which is just an amazing. It's the second in a series of four that we're running, and last week we focused on the city of Bordeaux, but today we're heading out of the city and we're going to visit, in my view, one of the most wonderful areas for wine that the world has as a gift to itself. Uh, Today, the weather here in New Jersey is filled with snow. We've got about, I think, 8 inches on the ground, and it's still snowing. But believe it or not, in Bordeaux, it's 61 degrees. It's sunny. I wish I was there. It's just a beautiful day in Bordeaux. So I just want to say, I know it sounds like a hyperbole, but the wine that comes from this part of France is absolutely spectacular. And in fact, although you don't see me today and you know that I do this on occasion, I have a glass of Bordeaux in my hand, enjoying it. This region's been growing grapes for almost 2,000 years, back to the time of the Romans, who realized that it was just the perfect place to plant grapes, and they began to produce wine. So the region's got a bit of time they've had a little bit of time to perform this, to perfect the formula, and it's, to me, one of the pleasures of life, to enjoy wine with a great meal. And as you know, the little bit of geek history in me, in the Middle Ages, the region began even selling wine to England, and eventually the wine started to find itself traveling around the world. And some of you may know this, but Thomas Jefferson, right, one of the founders of this country, had a love affair with the wines of Bordeaux. And in fact, one of his visits to Bordeaux, believe it or not, in 1787, he stayed at a hotel in Bordeaux called the Richelieu. And the Richelieu, unfortunately, no longer exists, so you can't book your clients into it. So it's not an easy trip to recreate, because today, from what I understand, the hotel is a fast food restaurant and it's near Galerie Lafayette. The building still exists. And during his trip, this trip, because he's traveled many, many times to Bordeaux, he bought 24 cases of Haut Brion and 250 bottles of Chateau Lafite, two of Bordeaux's most famous wines. He had great taste. And believe it or not, that in 1985, they had broken in between a wall in Paris. They were doing some renovations in a building in Paris, and they found bottles of Lafite with his initials on it, and as well as other wines. And ultimately, that wine sold at auction for, believe it or not, $157,000 to an American collector. But today we're going to learn more about the region. We're going to meet our partners on the ground that help us to take care of your clients. We'll visit some wonderful wineries and a great Relais and Chateau boutique hotel located in the area of Sauternes. The hotel's owned by Lalique, and it's part of a wonderful winery that, in my view, produces liquid gold. So let me pass this over to Johnny now. Hey, Johnny.
Yes. Good morning, everybody, and thank you to be with us for the 89th times. As Tom said, we are on a fantastic region that I personally love very much, for the quality of the location, the things that you can see and do on location, and really is one of the best region in France for wine, gastronomy, and all the other component of perfect trip. So stay with us till the end because we have a great prize today too. At the last minute of our webinar. So enjoy the show, and I give it back to Tom.
Well, if you want to, Johnny, you can. Francesco, you can move. Let's move to the next slide. So Nouvelle Aquitaine, it's the largest region in France, located on the Atlantic coast, on the border of Spain, and the Pyrenees. You can go skiing in the wintertime. You can really have a wonderful time, whether it's winter, summer, fall, spring. It's a great place to send your clients any time of the year. Next slide. Easy to get to. From Paris, TGV, you're in Bordeaux within 2 hours. Very, very easy to get around the region. You can see from here, Bordeaux to Biarritz is easy to get to. There's no direct flights. Everybody's got to fly into Paris and then work their way to Bordeaux. Easy connections, lots of flights. It's only an hour and a half flight from Paris to the main city. We've put together some itineraries that you may have seen on the last webinar. We'll have them posted. You can go through them at your leisure. We can help build. These are just outlines. We can help build really wonderful itineraries for you. Can we move on to the next slide? So here's, some of you may not have seen this. This is a very lovely video that was produced, and we would love you to see it. So some of you may have seen it. It's short, but very amusing.
Do French people know this stuff? Like, is that a fair question?
I'd say the wine.
Good wine.
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 Brigitte Bardot.
The architecture is very, very old school.
Oh, it's an UNESCO World Heritage Site?
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
Oh.
Southwest.
Strasbourg.
Nice.
Lyon. No?
Bordeaux, Biarritz.
Osgard. Oslo. Osgard.
I should know this, but I can't.
Asking the wrong person.
Sancerre.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Chateaubriand.
Chateau Margaux. Yep.
I usually go for the bottom of the shelf.
Probably make up any chateau whatever, and that would probably be correct. Well, there's been a lot of inflation lately.
$200?
$200.
175.
Less. Okay.
$70. Less?
Let's go with $27.
$12. Wow.
What?
It's a lot cheaper in France than in the U.S. Cognac?
The cognac.
The cognac.
It's a liquor.
Yes, it's French brandy.
Like Remy Martin.
I don't know what that is now.
It's very thick, I believe.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Alcohol.
Maybe like some honey.
Whiskey?
Barley.
Is it grapes? Is it from wine? Yeah.
Do French people know this stuff? Like, is that a fair question?
Croix de la Croix.
Grottes de las Croix.
Grotte. Grotte.
Gratis de las Croix.
Laco.
Grotte de Lascaux.
Oh, is it like the caves of Lascaux?
A place where they make wine.
Some type of precious metals, maybe silver.
Mushrooms.
Flowers.
Cave paintings. Yeah.
Some of the earliest, like, art that we have.
Very old. Of animals and hands.
It's beautiful.
The water is so blue, it looks like it could literally be the Caribbean.
I would have said maybe like the Morocco.
It's beautiful. Oh, wow.
Wow. I didn't expect that to be there.
What is it called again?
Dune
Dune
du Pilat.
de Pila.
Yeah, it makes you want to go there.
Oh, creme brulee?
Brioche.
Souffle.
Sion Cannelé.
Canale.
Nice! Killed it!
Oh,
I want to have one of the desserts and maybe a glass of red wine.
looks like I gotta buy a ticket and make a trip.
Ooh, good. Celine, can you send me a cannelé right now?
We'll do that.
Yeah,
We'll do that.
good. So there was a lot packed into that little video. It's interesting to see how people what they know and what they don't know, right? So and all of us know that a lot of people have a lot to learn. So we're really thrilled to just, we're gonna condense it into an hour webinar, and we're going to be doing others as well. Today's speakers, we've got Celine, who's with the tourist board of Nouvelle Aquitaine. We are going to go visit a couple of wonderful wineries, so that's going to be terrific. Our ground operator, Pierre Jean, we're going to introduce you to him as well, and we're going to end up visiting a wonderful hotel and winery in the area of Sauternes. So if we could move on to the next, Celine, you're on. So
Yeah, I'm on. You want me to talk on that
yeah,
slide?
you can. We could talk a little bit about this.
Just
I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot of numbers, right? It's a lot of
I'm gonna
numbers
make
here.
it short. No, but bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody, and I met some of you for the last webinar. Thank you, Tom and Jenny, for inviting us again. As Tom said, we are happy to have 4 very beautiful properties and partners with us to present you the Bordeaux wine area. So just before they start, a few key figures on the Nouvelle Aquitaine region. We are the #1 region for French visitors and #1 for wine tourism. We have we're the #1 region as well for the number of UNESCO sites, with 16 sites. We have a lot of villages that are classified among the villages, the most beautiful villages of France organization, meaning a lot of heritage and very typical traditional villages. And we have 55 Michelin-starred restaurants. That means we're really a region where we like eating and drinking.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do
Oh.
like eating and drinking.
It's really in our DNA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. So that's it for that slide.
So what's the next slide?
And then this is just to show you that the name of Nouvelle Aquitaine is not that well known if you compare with other French regions like Provence, Bourgogne, Bretagne, for instance. But we have in the region a variety of different destinations, of course with Bordeaux, but also with Biarritz and the Basque Coast at the south, at the Spanish border. We have Cognac, which is another very interesting wine destination that we'll discover on the next webinar. We have the Pyrenees in the south. We have also the Dordogne area, 2 hours drive east of Bordeaux. Very interesting for prehistorical caves and medieval heritage. That will be the last webinar. Armagnac, Angoulême, and this was to show you the variety of destination within one single region.
I mean, and you're right on the sea. So some of the best best holidays that I've ever had have been on the coast there. It's just a wonderfully rich area, great oysters. The water is beautiful in the summertime. Lots to do.
in summertime, but also, in spring and winter, it's very nice to go on the seaside, to taste oysters, as you said, just to walk there. And we can swim in the Atlantic Ocean from, let's say, June till end of September.
Yeah, that's the best time. September to me is the best time to go. So in the city itself, there's this incredibly beautiful museum that you see as my background, but you don't see me. It's the Cité du Vin. Lovely, lovely introduction to the wines of Bordeaux.
Yeah, and Cité du Vin, it's a wine museum that has opened in 2016. It's really a must-see site in Bordeaux, especially if you're interested about wine. It's not only about Bordeaux wines, it's wine from all over the world and a different kind of wine, of grape variety and so on. And they have opened last February actually, a brand new immersive tour. And as you can see here, you're totally immersed in different experiences, and that's very interesting. And on top of this, in addition to this visit, you can also organize some private tasting for your clients, wine and chocolate, wine of the world, or there's a lot of different experiences to have at La Cité du Vin. And the best moment, one of the best moments, is the tasting, because when you buy your ticket, you have a glass of wine included. You go to the top of the building, you've got a beautiful view and all the surrounding, and there you can choose a glass of wine from the world and drink it just in front of this view of Bordeaux, which is amazing. So that's a nice experience too.
I haven't done that yet. Looking forward to that.
You have to come back.
So in June, there's a wine festival, lovely wine festival.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing.
Yeah.
You were going to say something?
No, I think the Bordeaux Wine Festival, it takes place in Bordeaux City Center on the bank of the Garonne River every end of June. And it's a very nice time if you have a client who want to come at this period to meet the local people, to discover all the wines. It's a very festive event, and with restaurants outside, with light and sound spectacles. So it has become, it's 20 years now old, and it has become really a rendezvous for local people and foreigners too.
What's our next? What do we have going on? So now here's a map of really where the wine is produced. So we have a number of different areas, right? We've got Médoc, we've got Grave, we've got where the Sauternes are. There's Entre-deux-Mers, which is between two seas. So there's a lot of places that, for those that want to dive deep, can, but also this is easy to get around. Celine, what's the farthest, if you're looking at, let's say, Médoc from Bordeaux, how long does it take to get there?
Well, you can go there in 40 minutes if you go to the south of Médoc, and then it's about 2 hours if you drive to the north. But what you have to keep in mind, I don't know if you see Bordeaux on the map, it's right in the middle. So Bordeaux, the city, is a very good starting point for visiting the vineyards. And if you drive, well, less than 1 hour, you can go to Saint-Emilion, to the Médoc, to Sauternes, and you've got a lot of different wine estates to discover. Some prestigious wine estates as the one you will meet tonight, but also small producers making local wines, so Bordeaux is a good base, and the vineyards are really all around.
Yeah, and the one thing that I always want to say, it's not to be intimidated. It is fun. Everybody is very welcoming. They want you to come into their vineyards. They want you to taste their wines. They want you to experience what they live through every single day. So it's very approachable.
And also
you were saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I just want to say also, it's kind of different approach than the one you can have in the US, in Napa or Sonoma. It's not worse or better, that's not the point, but The wine estates, when they welcome the visitors, they really want the visitors to understand how the wine is made, what's the soul of the winemaker, and why his wine is different from the neighbor, or and why it's from the land, you know. So they really show you the vat, the cellar, and they explain you the winemaking process, which is maybe a little bit different because it's not always like that in the US. I don't say that it's never like that, but they really want the visitor to understand how the wine is made and why it's made like that. So it's, as you say, really an exchange between the visitor and the winemakers, which is very important. But I think the best person to speak about it tonight is with us is Pierre-Jean, because his job is to take the clients to the best wine estates that they have identified in the surrounding of Bordeaux.
Yes, and Pierre-Jean is our man on the ground. He's built a wonderful company and supports us in making sure that all of your clients are very, very, very well taken care of. Hi, Pierre-Jean. How are you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Very well, thank you.
Perfect.
Great. So, are we launching a video that you created? What's our next slide? There we go. So why don't we first launch this video? And again, I just want to tell you that Pierre-Jean is, for us, our right hand. We couldn't do any of this without him. He helps us with all the services outside of the hotels. So Pierre-Jean, go. Let's see the video that you guys produced.
That was filmed yesterday.
That's right.
Michel, bonjour to Gianni and Tom. I'm Pierre-Jean. I'm the founder and the owner of À la Française, and I'm happy to take you to a tour today. So we're in Bordeaux. Look at this beautiful weather. We're in Place des Quinconces. Place des Quinconces is the meeting point of our shared regular tours. Okay, it's very central near the tourism office here, so very easy to find. Okay, here we go. Follow me. So I would like to introduce our new innovation, our new IA. So this is Remy. It's our brand new IA. Very easy to use. No request on salary raise. Nothing like this. It's very simple to use. So I can control it through my telephone. So Remy, say bonjour. Bonjour.
We need to fly for like approximately 45 minutes, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. See you later.
So Remy is on his way to Saint-Emilion now. It's about a 45-minute drive. Our tours actually mainly go to Saint-Emilion. About 70% of our clients book a tour to Saint-Emilion in different options: morning tours, afternoon tours, full days, and also a bike tour. Our second most popular tour is Médoc. We have also different options: Médoc afternoon, daily. And also what is popular is the city tours and the tour to Arcachon. We have a beautiful full day to Arcachon, which is the Saint-Dieu. Okay, let's watch a small video and then we will go back to the tour. Our first stop will be Chateau Ballot. So Useless to say that this photo is not from today, it's from last summer. Chateau Ballot here is our own venue. We have our own venue in every region we cover in order to control the full quality of our tours. Chateau Ballot is a Grand Cru classé, family owned, family run. So we have an agreement with the family and we actually rent the castle itself. On the left-hand side is the facility, the facilities and the wine area, which we're not in where we're not involved. So the group start with a tour in the vineyards around the chateau with a beautiful point of view on the village of Saint-Emilion from the top of the vineyard. Then a tour in the cellar, and of course an explanation of all the wine process from the vine to the bottle, going to the vat room and then to the wine, well, to the barrel cellar, where the wine ages for about a year or a year and a half. Let's move to the chateau itself for the tasting. Here is a tasting. It is a private tour here last summer, and the weather was good enough to organize the tasting outside. Most of our tastings are inside, in the chateau itself, in a beautiful old authentic room, where our regular tours taste 3 wines. We also do systematically. Here you have Galad, one of our guide, holding a small tasting class. So each tour include a short tasting class just to give a few tips to the client, very simple tips to the client to taste better. It is called Become a Wine Expert in 20 minutes. So it goes along with the tasting at the chateau with maps, le nez du vin, which is different aromas of wine, and it really helps to feel the aromas and to taste better, and to have a little bit of knowledge about the wine. Each of our tours include also an aperitif, a French aperitif made up of French delicacies, so French baguette that you have here, saucisson, pâté, and of course a glass of wine. So this goes usually at the end of the tour. It's like 5 p.m. During the tasting. Most of the time outside, but it depends on the heat and the weather. But we have the 2 options in the tasting room and outside in the garden. The 2 options are beautiful. After the tour of the chateau, the visit and the tasting, let's move on. So back to the van and move on to the village of Saint-Emilion. It's less than 10-minute drive to the village. The village is back to the 9th century when Emilion, who was a monk, was on his way from Brittany, where he was originally, to Spain, on his way to Santiago de Compostela. So he was on a pilgrim, and he was walking in the valley here. There were nothing at that time. He found a shelter as the soil is made of limestone, so a lot of caves and undergrounds where he could find a shelter. He eventually stayed there and built this village. So the Emilion is buried in the little chapel that you see on the right-hand side. So the tour includes a guided tour in the village, in the cloister of the cathedral, and the tour of the little streets. Most of the houses here date back from the 17th century. Here is a nice couple enjoying his tour. So a word about how we work. First of all, our main asset, our jewel at La Française is our team of guides. So you've seen Remy that you see here again. That was last summer. He had a longer hair along with Emily during a tour. We're proud to have the most local, knowledgeable, and friendly guides, and we invest a lot on them. So we hire them. So we are on the process now in February of hiring the rest of the team that is not hired yet. Once they are hired, we train them, we entertain them, and give them good reason to choose À la Française to work with. They have specific skills in the wine regions we cover, and in Bordeaux, as a matter of fact, we require a wine set or a wine diploma. And of course, we provide our driver license, so they're all fully covered when they are on the wheel of a minivan. 80% of our guides come back regularly. They come back year after year, which is key on the client satisfaction. Our number one aim is to guarantee the highest client satisfaction possible, and it is really through the guides that we can make our tours excellent and drive a real conviviality and authenticity in our tours. Here are Theo and Susanna on top of the Dune du Pilat, which is a Pilat dune along the Atlantic Ocean, which is about 50 minutes from Bordeaux. We also have a tour there. Our vans, we use exclusively actually now, Mercedes Vitos. We have altogether in France 50 recent Mercedes Vito. In Bordeaux, we have 12. We also provide and try to develop our bike tours. They are e-bikes only, so we have our own fleet of bikes that is located at our venue at Château Ballot. So our bike tours start from Château Ballot. We drive our clients from Bordeaux to Saint-Emilion, 45-minute drive, before doing about a 10 to 12 kilometer loop in the small path in the vineyards. Here is Rémi again, admiring the view from the vineyards on his e-bike. All this together brings quite a high level of quality and a high satisfaction level. Here is two of our thousands of reviews that we get on TripAdvisor, on Google. So we're proud to be a 5-star among more than 2,000 reviews on TripAdvisor and a rate of 4.8 on Google.
So, Pierre-Jean, I think that some of the things that I view as the most important things is really the quality of the guides that you provide us with, great service, and the wonderful thing is that it doesn't make a difference whether it's a sunny day or a rainy day. It's really how you interact with the clients at the end of the day and make their adventure great, is what I could say. So I want to thank you for that, and thanks for putting this together. It's a really great insight into the company and also what we can offer as experiences too. It's not just about wine, although that's important. It should never just be about wine, right?
We have a lot of guests who don't really like wine, who don't drink wine, and it's more about culture and French culture and French know-how. So it's a global experience. Everybody loves it. Yeah. I wish we had captured this video today because the weather, like you said, is beautiful today. It was rainy yesterday, but still,
that's okay. But
that's how it works.
That's how it works, right? There's sunny days and rainy days. So here it's snowing all day long. So nothing we can do about that. So let's move on to the next slide. Where are we now? So we're now going to move on to the actual vineyards of the region. So where are we? Where is we're going to introduce you to 3 beautiful vineyards. So let's move on. It's just some lovely photographs. It's interesting, Celine, how marathons have become such a big thing worldwide, right? So you have your own marathon in Bordeaux.
Exactly.
And our first, the first winery we're going to visit is Chateau Ferrand in Saint-Emilion. A wonderful vineyard, and we're going to meet with Alex. So why don't we start? Are we launching a video that was produced by the vineyard first, Alex?
Yes, I think so. And at least I can complete with a few indication about the castle and what we
Great.
do in general.
Love it. Alex, what a beautiful place to work.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. It's a castle in Saint-Emilion area. So we are a property of 42 hectares, was running by the big family. That's why you've got big art collection into the video. And we can have 3 different spaces. So we can host from 2 people until 200 people. for wine tours, activities, lunch, dinner, and we also have got 3 bedrooms. So we've got a private part inside the castle when you can privatize, or you can just come for a night and enjoy the private dinner and a completely private and tailor-made experience on site.
That's so good. So you can drink to your heart's content, enjoy the wine, and spend the night.
Exactly.
Great.
We also working with a team of sommelier, so we can always answer a question depending on the guests we have, if they've got a few knowledges about the wine, or on the contrary, if they know nothing. So at least everyone can learn something when they come in Saint-Emilion, really enjoy the place, the terroir, and knowing a little bit more about.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move on to the next. Thanks, Alex. Now
Thank
we're gonna visit the Chateau Marquis d'Eslem. So Melissa.
Yes.
Great to see you.
Hello, everyone. So yes, we'll talk about Chateau Marquis d'Eslem now. I've been listening to you all, and although we've been saying a lot about presenting today Bordeaux and this wine region, as you can see, it's a lot more than just about wine. And specifically here at Marquis d'Eslem, you'll see it really is, for us, when we have guests here, it's more presenting an art de vivre à la française, but also it's about architecture, because everything has been rebuilt. Also about gardens and the nature, so wandering through our gardens, but also awakening your senses altogether. Of course, a lot about our wine, but it's not just that. So maybe you can show a little bit of it through the video, I think.
Great, thank you.
So, welcome everyone to Chateau Marquis d'Eslem. Hi, I'm Melissa Cobbold, and I'm in charge of the hospitality team here at Marquis d'Eslem. I'm delighted to show you today this understated treasure in Margaux. Chateau Marquis d'Eslem is the third Grand Cru classé right in the heart of the village of Margaux, which is a 40 minutes drive from Bordeaux city centre. Margaux appellation is north of Bordeaux in the Médoc area. The property has more than 400 years of history, and our guests will have the opportunity at a unique place which has been totally rebuilt thanks to an incredible family, the Perraudaux. Natalie, the owner, initiated this bold and innovative philosophy to the estate, which has until then been somewhat dormant and opened the way to another vision of a great wine. Let us take your guests on a unique, tailor-made visit, the Magical Interlude, a true bridge between French tradition and Asian influence, between artistic craftsmanship and wine culture. After a 5-year refurbishment program, the reinvented estate opened its doors to the public in 2017. It is a lively place that reflects the careful attention paid to people and wine, combining elegant details, a high level of craftsmanship, technology essential for tending the vineyards, and the poetry of Asian symbolism. After strolling through the collection of gardens, your guests will be coming back to the Hameau. The Hameau was inspired by the emblematic hamlet of Queen Marie Antoinette in Versailles, a rustic architecture as it was described in the 18th century, as opposed to the elegant and notable architecture. The Hameau represents the soul of Marquis, a welcoming space that is both a meeting place and a source of inspiration, both cosmopolitan and casual. It's a lively spot that offers simple pleasures and tasty treats. in a friendly and authentic setting. There's a playroom for the kids, books and magazines to browse through, a place to play pétanque, which is the bocce, the French version of bocce, or even checkers, homegrown herbs and fruit, and an amazing kitchen with a fireplace. Delicious food is also available all day, and a wine shop. And in this wine shop, we have a selection of vintages to be tasted or cellar aged for a few years, is offered for sale with a tailor-made shipping service around the world. Now, the magical interlude will finish with a wine tasting of 2 vintages of the Grand Cru Classé, just here. This is a moment to discover the art of tasting and understanding also the complexity of this delicious Margaux wine, a Cabernet moment, of course. We then invite guests to continue the tasting experience, if they wish, in our beautiful courtyard and let the magic happen. They will then have the possibility to pair the wine with some delicious food at La Table de Nathalie. The exteriors reflect the region's architecture and landscape, while inside you enter in the more private world of the family with the representation of their dwell culture. The refinement here of the details illustrates the high level of excellence of all the craftsmen we have worked with for 5 years here. Here we are in front of the entrance of one of our cellars, the even-year vintage cellar. And are you ready for some magic? Because something is happening behind these doors. So here we are. Here you see our moon gates, but also known as cave gates. Moon doors are supposed to provide access to a different world. In Taoism, the cave is seen as a gateway to heaven. The magnificent series of moon doors, which closes this cellar, generally invites us to admire a spectacle in the spatial layout of gardens in China. Here, the moon doors reveal the sea of barrels. Our cellars have been designed so that the barrels are all on one level. They're not one on top of the other. The configuration was a dear wish for our owner, Natalie, a sort of Madeleine de Proust, echoing her memories of a little girl amazed by the sea of barrels in the other family-owned by property, Château Labégorce. Each cellar is divided into 3 alcoves, and this is a way for us to really refine the work of each batch of wine. Marquis d'Alem is a wine made without compromise, a haute couture creation that dates back to the rebirth of this estate in 2006. Wine growers, who are masters of their craft, take the time to tend the vines as they would a garden. Their work is extremely and entirely bespoke, vine by vine, batch by batch, gravity feeding and finally aging the wine in the calm darkness of the cellar. Here, your guests will have the unique opportunity during this magical interlude to experience here our scented tales. We created this workshop with a nose in Paris who creates perfumes, just because we love the world of scents and perfumes. Our work consistently immerses us in it. The art of living perfumes of all wines penetrates every room of the house, every moment of our life, and echoes the art of living, which is so dear to us at Marquis d'Alem. We also created this workshop because the work of great perfumers, both artisans and artists, illustrates the excellence of their know-hows, their creative freedom. The history of our great wines is quite similar. The parallel between these 2 worlds is fascinating. Also, we created this because we want to share with our guests the 1,000 facets of our world of a great wine. the work of craftsmen, of haute couture, which leads to the birth of a great wine. And finally, because smells, perfumes tell a story, open up our imagination, explore the paths of emotions in complete freedom. Now, you may have noticed, but we are in the middle of the winter, and we are closed during this period at Château Marquis d'Alem. Château Marquis d'Alem is open from May to October, Monday to Friday. This is why I'm now sitting close to this beautiful fireplace in the middle of the hamlet, which also during the season features our restaurant, La Table de Nathalie. La Table de Nathalie is an oasis of calm nestled in the heart of this estate, the ideal place to enjoy garden cuisine or a glass of wine. Maybe tea, coffee, or also some fruit juice. The herbs, the vegetables, the flowers are all from our vegetable garden, which we have planted just behind the property. All of these vegetables are picked every day for our garden menu. And we also sourced our local suppliers here very carefully to really give you the most delicious food which you can eat at any time of the day here. We also love to welcome children. Thanks to Natalie, who is now a young mother of 4 girls, we created Petit Marquis, which is a fantastic treasure hunt around the property. I hope you will enjoy all of this and come and see us very soon. We can't wait to welcome you here at Château Marquis d'Alem and also your guests. Cheers.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful video that you produced. It's an interesting it's an interesting story as well. So for those that really do want to come to see the property, it's a wonderful story.
Thank you.
So it's interesting to see that it's a woman that actually is running the chateau, and so. And I love the fact that the transition from generation to generation. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, it is, and a true family story, which is fantastic, and especially quite a lot of ladies involved in this property too.
Yes, that's great. We're now going to move on to. So thank you again. We're now going to move on to the next part of our presentation. So we're going to now visit a wonderful chateau that produces one of my favorite sauternes. We were talking about this earlier. It's people will say, "Oh, I don't drink sweet wine," but this is an experience that is unlike any other. It is not what you would think of as a sweet wine. So we can start with the video if we could launch that now. That's great. Thank you. I want to introduce you to the general manager of the property, Nicolas Ile Enriquez. He, like me, for some reason, we're having technical problems and he can't turn his video on. Hi, Nicolas. How are you?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, I cannot open my camera. I don't know what's happened. I need to restart the app,
Don't
so
worry, it's okay.
I will move forward
Zoom,
without my face. Sorry.
like me, it's the same thing. So we're in the same situation. We blame Zoom for that. So Nicola, you have a wonderful property and you have wonderful wine. So if you want to, we can run through some of the slides. It's a two-star, you have a two-star Michelin restaurant.
Yep.
And you are Relais and Chateau property.
Exactly.
This is a lovely, it's just a beautiful property. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me to this meeting. So let me introduce you quickly. Château La Forêt-Péraguet, premier Grand Cru classé, sorry, in Sauternes. And we are an hotel restaurant, La Lique, the Crystal Ray, that we own for 7 years now. I don't want to tell you a lot of things about our property, and I want to arouse your curiosity, and I will offer you some few keywords. As you can see on the picture, in our property, you enter in a unique and four-dimensional universe. The first one is a Sauternes wine, of course, because we are in this part of the region, of the Bordeaux region. And we propose also an exceptional cellar with an heritage of 2,600 world wine references. The second, it's a gastronomy with our 2 Michelin star gourmet restaurant. We have the chance to have Jérôme Schilling, one of the best meilleurs ouvriers de France cooker.
Great chef, great, wonderful chef.
Thank you. The third one is hospitality, because our location is in the heart of the vineyard.
Can we see one of the rooms, right? The next slide.
Yeah, and we propose 13 rooms, 3 suites, and 10 rooms. And of course, as you know, La Lique, it's a crystal. We are a crystal maker. So from decoration to everything that you can find in the property, in the castle, everything is in crystal. And also we have the unique crystal barrel in the world. You will have a picture at the end of the presentation. So we will be very happy to welcome you and your customers for a great French savoir-vivre style, crystal heritage, and also an authentic stay in our countryside.
And this is the restaurant. It's so beautiful. Looking out onto the vineyards.
This is our chef, Jérôme Schilling.
Congratulations to his achievements.
And we hope to reach the 3rd stars for the restaurant.
2 is spectacular, so 3 is incredible. I know that you have a wonderful selection of wines. And from there, and this is the hotel, and
yeah, and the global view, because everything is made everything is in the vineyard, and you can, everywhere you look around, you see the vineyard and the grape when it's a season.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And the famous and unique crystal barrel in the world.
I remember seeing that. And I do love the integration of La Lique into every bottle that you put your wonderful wine into.
This was decided 3 years ago. We put always an original panel that René Lalique designed for Orient Express restoration train, sorry. And we put always this panel on all our bottle.
The panel is beautiful, but the wine is more beautiful. It's a lovely restaurant with an incredible view. So, Nicholas, thank you very much.
My
I
pleasure.
know that it was short notice, so we really appreciate the help. And we love being able to show people places that we love and we want to share that knowledge with. So thank you
Perfect.
again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have anything after this? So a few more properties that you can we can arrange for people to stay in. So we just wanted to show you some examples of them on the next slide. And Celine, I don't know if you want to speak about this property at all.
Yeah, just to mention a few new hotels in the heart of the Vineyard. That one is in the Pessac, in the Château Lignon, sorry, in Pessac-Lignon. That one is, sorry, it's a boutique hotel, 50 rooms that has opened last summer. And the next one is in the Médoc, in Pauillac, in the heart of the Médoc, Hôtel des Vignes et des Anges. And it's a Best Western Premier with 44 rooms. It has been totally renovated. So it's two beautiful new places in the Vineyard as well where to stay.
And you can see just from the photos that it's really not a Best Western as American standards go. These are just some examples of some of the next webinars that we're going to be doing. We're going to go visit, we'll be visiting the Dordogne. I'm really thrilled about that. Wonderful villages, great hotels, and also in Cognac. Many of you have hopefully have had Cognac over the years. It's one of my favorite after dinner beverages. So we're going to have some great experiences. And again, lots of beautiful places within the region to experience. Everything from seaside in Biarritz to Limoges to the Pyrenees, up to Armagnac. It's a, as we said from the beginning, it's one of France's largest regions. Sorry, one of France's largest regions, and we love to. We're excited to show you more of it as during our next webinar. So, Johnny, we've got some wonderful prizes.
We got at the end of this nice presentation. I hope that you enjoy it, and you're gonna ask us a lot of itinerary in the area, and if you want to get more information, next webinar will really make a full-blown possibility itinerary in the area. Okay, so those are the three price. The $300 coupon as additional commission goes to, and the price goes to Lisa Silvestri. Oh, Lisa, good. You won the $300 coupon. Then the wine experience at the Château de Ferrand, Saint-Émilion, and Château Marquis d'Alem goes to Karen O'Keefe. Karen, congratulations. This is yours. And the one stay at the Château La Fourie and the dinner at the Restaurant La Lique goes to Eileen Koenig. Eileen, congratulations. You won the nice prize. So I hope to...
Congratulations, everybody. Oh,
congratulations,
Karen,
everybody.
congratulations.
And to the next one.
Celine, thank you. Thank you for all the participants, everyone that helped us put this together. So everyone have a great day, and we'll see you next
events in New York and Miami.
We'll see you next week. And we also, someone just reminded me, we've got events coming up in New York and Miami, and we'll be sending out an email to letting all of you know what the specifics are on that. So again, thanks everybody, and thank you, Nouvelle Aquitaine. We're really happy to have the opportunity to expose this wonderful region to all of our clients.
Thank you, GT, and thank you for everybody to attend. See
Thanks.
you
Thanks, Celine.
next webinar.
See you next webinar.